Hi, I'm Jonathan Crawford, and I'll be introducing you to the reception of and public attitudes towards Shakespeare's Othello, then and now. I'll start with the past. Shakespeare's Othello is highly thought to be one of, if not the most successful play Shakespeare's ever written. It was first performed for King James in the year 1604. The seductive story was a hit with Elizabethan audiences, and there was surprisingly little controversy over the issue of race in the play. The term Moor, which is how Othello is described, is thought to represent an Arab ethnic group living primarily in Spain, although it could be interpreted more broadly to include other non-white groups. The attitude towards Asian and Arab people was not as discriminatory or dehumanizing as it was towards tribal Africans or Native Americans at that time, so the idea of a Moor seducing a woman like Desdemona was not really unpalatable by the audience. Despite this, roles of honor or nobility weren't usually seen depicted by characters of this race, so the choice was historically significant even if it wasn't controversial. As far as actors are concerned, the role of Othello was very much in demand. People really competed to get this role on stage. As time went on, however, interpretations of the play began to change. A 1693 review of the play by critic Thomas Reiner stated that the play, although highly regarded, was in fact bad, mainly because it disagreed with the racial hierarchy by casting a Moor as the tragic hero. He continued to say that it was unrealistic that a woman as high in stature as Desdemona would fall for Othello. The review and its author were ridiculed, but Reiner was not alone in his opinion, even if he was in the minority. In the 18th century, the play was staged almost every year in London. Its popularity continued for that century and into the 19th, where it attracted the attention of a lot of critics. Men like Samuel Coleridge found fault not really in the racial or sexual issues of the play, but in the logical and theatrical sense of it. It wasn't until the late 20th century that critics like F.R. Leavis in 1952 began to say that the faults in Shakespeare's play really stemmed from the choice of having Othello be of the African race. And many actors said it was hard to act just because it felt so contradictory to them. Even later, critics such as Karen Newman suggested that Shakespeare was trying to use the play to challenge the racial and sexual prejudice of his time by having an interracial relationship. Now let's shift to the present. Multiple films have been made based off the story of Othello. The most recent one, a 1995 adaptation featuring Lawrence Fishburne as the Venetian Moor, has an IMDb rating of 7 out of 10 stars. It's the first time in film that Othello has used a black actor to represent the main character. Multiple reviews on the site complain that Othello's eloquent and noble lines were either simplified too much to really represent his character well and maintain the feeling of the work, or they were too flowery and drawn out to make for a good movie experience. My classmates have their own ideas. When I asked around about Othello, I was given many different words, including black, culture, tears, race, boring, and even ill. Clearly, Othello's popularity has faded, at least in the minds of the youth. I later asked my classmates to tell me some of their thoughts on the play, and they had this to say.
You ever heard of the play Othello by Shakespeare? Have you? Have you? Have you? Hello, sir.
Othello?
Alright. Have you ever heard of the play Othello by Shakespeare?
Oh, wait, this for like Henry?
Do you enjoy it?
Probably not.
Monty, have you ever heard of the play Othello by Shakespeare?
I've heard of it.
What do you think about it?
I don't know much about it.
Oh, okay.
Some of my classmates had very strong negative opinions about the play.
Alright. Great to present King Henry. It's gonna be great. James Hale.
Yeah.
What do you think about Shakespeare's play Othello?
I think it's the best thing that's ever been written in the history of the world. I mean, really, nothing can top it. You got your villain who's literally Satan. Literally Satan.
Oh.
Literally.
Iago.
He's just terrible. And it's probably probably the best thing that's ever hit paper. If I had to be honest.
Nice.
Although Othello is still widely used for study in classrooms like our own, it seems that for entertainment purposes, it only serves a niche crowd of nostalgia seekers and theater buffs. The fame and notoriety that Othello has enjoyed for the past couple of centuries seems to finally be coming to an end.